Alright guys, so being the last limited banner for the year, should you guys go for Banshee, Norn, and TD? So I'm gonna be real honest with you guys, which I think I pretty much have hinted in numerous earlier video, like throughout my summoning, throughout kind of like the initial showcase on the JP side. I don't think this is a good unit for the long term of this game. So if you guys just want to answer real quick, I'm just gonna say probably no. Given the fact that we are getting like what is it, New Year's banner, like what, next week or the week following that. So if you guys do want to save up for that, it's definitely fine. And this banner is going to be going away next month on the 15th anyway, so you guys do have plenty of time to decide whether or not you guys want to go in or not. But let's do kind of take a look at this unit. So EXQ is the Black Lion, so okay, I kind of see why they got the naming right there. In terms of the JP banner, initially when they had, you know, the kind of like what they call the banner, is actually just called the Black Lion banner. Like they had that. It's not even the Extreme Limited banner, so it was quite different back then. Or in terms of JP size, a little bit different, but this unit EXQ effects, you're doing a 603 attack damage to green element allies for 20 seconds, increase damage by 26%, so another buffer to the green team, so that's pretty good. And to sell for 10 seconds, grant hyper awakening status. So let me quickly check out my base Banshee. Just want to quickly check, does the timer actually increase? I think it should. Where is it at? Right over here. Oh, still 10 seconds. So I was gonna say, I thought it is gonna be a little bit lower because that is part of the EXQ effects. But with that said, 10 seconds is actually pretty good itself, because this unit can actually gain or restore EXQ gauge. So regardless of being just only 10 seconds, shouldn't be the problem. But in terms of the hyper awakening status, you are getting a grant absolute evasion status by just having that, and then increase beam damage by 100% and damage taken down by 50%. So this is not related to the unit itself, but this is kind of my OCD. Check out how they have the phrase. I don't know why these two are not capped while this whole bottom chunk is just capped. It is throwing me off, alright? So I just had to mention that. But that is pretty bonkers, because absolute evasion on this actually does make this unit, depending on the content, it will make this unit shine for sure, better than some of our pre-existing kind of like evade or die unit. So this is actually a step better than what the pre-existing unit does, so it's pretty good. 100% beam damage up, that is definitely monstrous to have, so pretty nice right there. And we'll definitely skip the Transcendent Ski, we'll come back to that. On evasion for 10 seconds, increase beam damage by 17%, stacking that up to 5 times. So you guys know me, I'm not really the biggest fan of like you evade, you gain beam damage, because what if there is a situation when you cannot evade, meaning you're fighting multiple enemies, or sorry, you have multiple allies, the enemy is not targeting you. If you're not getting targeted, you're not evading. So this is kind of like 50-50 depending on the content. You might have it, you might have it, or you may not. So kind of counterintuitive in a way. EXQ gauge restore, so that's good. So this is gonna go in fairly nicely, trigger the EXQ effects, so that should be fine. And when battle begins for 20 seconds, increase evasion by 30%, so that's pretty big value right there, so that's good. On a skill 2, we unlock the beam magnum, and then increase damage cap by 200k, and then range damage up by 200%. So these are still going to be hitting like wet noodles. Don't expect them to be shooting out crazy numbers. They won't. Very unfortunate, but there you guys go. I just want to say, this unit right now in the arena environment is not going to be good. And I think before they release, I think Xeon, this may be a fairly good unit to use in arena. I'll definitely say it will definitely have a spot. But given how it is right now in the global environment, arena for this unit, I think it's kind of like a death sentence. You run it, you're probably gonna get one shot it really quick, because like you have unit that stuns, or you have unit that can inflict the unavoidable status. So that can actually just overwrite that right there. And you have unit that actually does absolute hits or guarantee hits or bullseye. So it's actually just not really good for this unit, just very unfortunate. And the other part is, you're not getting damage. Like this unit, if you want this unit to perform well as a raid unit, I don't think it's gonna be that good. A lot of the things are time gated, like this is time gated. This is kind of like a may or may not situation, so it's kind of unfortunate. But I will say, on the flip side, content that you may want to solo, like I don't know, like Total War when you're running on a unit, I think this unit can make a good exceptional case for that, because if you are getting targeted, this unit will get you pop EXQ, you could trigger this, and if you continue to evade, you can rack this up, charge this back up, and you can cycle through. So even if you don't have like the highest investment on your Banshee Norn, with just this portion of this kit, activating this right here, you should be good for content that you may want to solo. So even though arena may not be that good, as far as like the peak damage, this unit may not be that good, but I'll definitely say this unit can make a decent spot in content that requires, let's say, oh, you want to solo things, or you are short on units and you feel like, oh, Banshee can do it, it probably will. So that is definitely something I feel like I do want to add as well. I know overall I've been saying this unit is pretty negative, but there are certain aspects of this game, as far as content wise, this unit can excel in. But as far as that Riddhe Marcenas right here, how do I feel about him? So Riddhe is a pilot that is time gated first 30 seconds on a skill 1. So after that, for green and red, you got nothing out of that, so you do have to be aware of that. And in terms of skill 2, all of them are pretty much based on the instance of evading. So then again, this pilot is going to be good on an instance where you can dodge, you gain the range sense, and same thing as a unit. So if you guys are purely talking about, well, I just want a pilot that can actually just dash out good damage, like what else can I use? Well, there's actually a few options, so let me just kind of quickly glance at them real quick. There's the one that works for Pale Rider. I think that pilot actually works. Chloe, yeah, Chloe. So she can actually fulfill that role, but you're not gonna be getting like a ton of range sense. I'm just gonna say that right now. Where is she at? Right there. So Chloe actually works fine for the evasion. So simply, oh, let's say in arena, if you do want to use this unit, you can use that. But other than that, the limiter override is not gonna be beneficial at all. The other one that kind of comes in mind is probably going to be maybe this one, maybe Armor Ray. Got the green. You do have increased evasion, so that can probably work. You do have Psycho Frame, Gundam type, so these two can probably work as well if you do want that. But I think probably the best one may be the Banadra Links. You got the green to stack up the range sense, but this one is going to range sense, so your melee sense is not getting any increase. So then again, you are losing out a lot. So, but yeah, I do feel like Riddhe is more like a dodge or die pilot as well. If you're not dodging, then you're not. This whole thing right here, this whole blurb on skill 2 is kind of dead. So I just want to make that, just want to add that right there. But there you guys go. So this is just kind of how I feel about Banshee, and kind of like moving forward, I just don't think this may be that great of a unit depending on your circumstances. But if you feel like your PvE content wise, you feel like you need this unit because of its insane survivability aspect of things, you got the evasion, you got the absolute evade and all that, be my guest and semaphore. But if you guys don't need anything extra for kind of like your PvE content wise, then I feel like this is going to be a hot skip, and probably wait for 2 weeks from now or next week, or yeah, just next week, to see what's going on.